They convinced you weakness was kindness. They wrapped your chains in soft velvet and called it peace. They fed you the sweet poison of comfort, and you swallowed it, thinking it was salvation. But here's the truth they'll never say out loud. Comfort is the cage. The bed you sleep in, the bars. The job you hate, the leash. The glowing screen you stare at for hours, the blindfold. And you're the prisoner who forgot there was a lock on the door. You smile while they feed you scraps, calling it dinner. You clap when they let you have weekends, calling it freedom. But deep down, you know you're not living. You're just maintained. They've drugged your mind with entertainment, numbed your soul with convenience, and trained you to thank them for it. They've made you polite so you never push back. They've made you grateful so you never leave. They've made you tired enough to obey, but comfortable enough to never rebel. And here's the most brutal truth of all. They don't need to kill you. They just need to keep you comfortable enough that you never try to escape. You wake up every day thinking this is life. Not because it's real, but because they've made you believe it is. An alarm you never set in your soul rips you from bed. You drag your body through traffic to a job you don't love, pretending to care, smiling at people you wouldn't spend 1 second with if you had a choice. You work for goals that aren't even yours and call it purpose. You go home, you scroll. You feed yourself junk food for the mind until your brain shuts down. You watch other people live and call that relaxing. You sleep, not because you're at peace, but because you're too exhausted to think about how trapped you are. And tomorrow, you'll do it again, and again, and again, until you can't tell the difference between living and waiting to die. It's the same fake script Truman followed, a perfectly crafted lie to keep him docile. The same streets, the same faces, the same conversations, recycled until the repetition feels like reality. And just like him, you don't even realize the walls are closing in, because they didn't build them out of brick and steel, they built them out of routine and comfort. You don't see the prison because the bars are invisible. They're made of paychecks and weekend plans, Netflix and fast food, social media likes and office gossip. They built it so well, you'd fight to defend it instead of breaking free. That's why you never see the trap. That's why you never fight it. And that's why they've already won. Unless you wake the hell up. Because here's the truth. The cage isn't locked. The door isn't even closed. But they've made you so comfortable inside. You don't want to leave. They didn't just give you fake dreams, they engineered them. They built an entire script for your life before you were even old enough to speak. They spoon-fed you prepackaged ambitions like fast food for the soul. Get the job. Buy the house. Live for the weekend. Smile. Obey, die quietly. All while the real feast, the life meant for those willing to bleed for it, was locked away behind walls you were trained never to climb. They handed you goals, shiny and hollow, like a hamster wheel dressed in gold. You run faster, sweat harder, and yet you end up exactly where you started, still in the cage, still chasing a prize that was never yours to keep. And the sickest part? They made you love your chains. They wrapped them in velvet. They told you it was freedom. You believed it. While you were distracted, they turned life into a theater and cast you as the harmless extra. They flooded your senses with lights, screens, and noise. They made sure you never had a second of silence long enough to hear the whisper in your own skull saying, "This isn't real." Because if you did hear it, if you saw even one crack in their perfect little Truman Show, you might start asking questions. Dangerous questions. Questions that would burn their entire stage to the ground. And now, look at you. You call this resting. But you're not resting. You're rotting. Your muscles are soft. Your mind is rusting. Your spirit is drowning in a lukewarm pool of routine. Every day you stay here, you are dying in slow motion, smiling politely while the executioner sharpens his blade, clapping along to a show you never auditioned for, content in a prison you refuse to see. Time isn't your friend, it's the executioner's blade. Every single tick is another swing, slicing away seconds you will never get back. You don't see it, but the noose is already around your neck, and the drop is coming, whether you're ready or not. While you scroll, while you procrastinate, while you convince yourself with that pathetic little whisper, "I'll start tomorrow." Somewhere out there, right now, someone is tearing down the walls of their fake world. They're dripping sweat into the soil of their future. They're bleeding for a vision they refuse to bury. They're training when you're resting. They're building when you're binge watching. And every day you stay asleep, their empire grows higher, until one day, your dreams will be hanging in their throne room like trophies, a reminder of what you could have been, but were too weak to become. Every moment you hesitate, you are not just falling behind, you are handing your life over to someone else. Time will not pause. Time will not pity you. Time will not care if you weren't ready. It will cut you down and walk away without looking back. You were not born to be soft. You were forged in the chaos of history. Your blood older than nations, older than the flags they waved to keep you divided. Your ancestors didn't survive plagues, wars, famine, and the raw brutality of the earth. So you could spend your life bent over a glowing screen, numbing your brain with cheap dopamine, stuffing your body with poison they market as food, and swallowing the lies they feed you until you choke on them. Every drop of blood in your veins carries the hunger of conquerors, the rage of warriors, the discipline of builders. But you've drowned it in comfort. You've traded your fire for convenience. You've silenced the war drums in your chest, because it's easier to stay plugged in and pretend you're living. That's not living. That's dying, slowly, quietly, pathetically. And the system is counting on you to die like that, to fade into the background, unthreatening, compliant. But that isn't what you were made for. You were made to stand, to fight, to bleed, to take everything you've been told you can't have and make it yours. The world doesn't reward the harmless. It chews them up. It grinds them into dust and doesn't even remember their names. It rewards the dangerous, not the reckless, not the loud, but the calculated predators, the ones who can think under fire, the ones who can fight when everything is stacked against them, the ones who can build empires out of nothing, and if necessary, burn it all to the ground and start again without blinking. Because power doesn't come to the kind, it comes to the capable. And capability means being just as skilled at creation as you are at destruction. The man who can give life and take it away. That's the man the world fears. That's the man the world pays. That's the man who bends reality to his will. So stop trying to be liked. Start becoming someone impossible to ignore, someone the world cannot afford to cross. So here's the truth. You are living in a box built by people who never wanted you to see the outside. They painted the walls with distractions, hung posters of fake success, and pumped music into the air so you'd never hear your own thoughts. Every day you stay in here, you become less of who you could be, and more of what they want you to be, a quiet, obedient, predictable piece in their machine. But you weren't born for this cage. You weren't born to scroll yourself into a coma, to beg for weekends, to trade your fire for a steady paycheck and a slow death. You were born to make the world shake when you move, to tear down walls when they block you, to force life to respect you, or to burn everything until it does. So you have two choices. Wake the hell up and shatter every fake wall they've built around you, or stay exactly where you are, another nameless shadow, wandering a world built by killers, while your potential rots in silence. If you're even half serious about breaking out of this prison, I've already built the first weapons you'll need. 2 free blueprints. The ultimate blueprint and world domination blueprint. Tools designed to rip the blindfold off your eyes and arm you for war. And if you're ready to go deeper, to become the kind of dangerous the world fears, then take my 2 ebooks, Mastering Motivation and the Authority. They will rewire your mind, rebuild your spine, and make you impossible to stop. They're all here, the controversial 100.gumroad.com. These aren't guides. They're not self-help. They are weapons, the kind that either save you or destroy the version of you that's been holding you back. Take them now, before the cage becomes so comfortable that you stop dreaming about freedom altogether. Because here's the thing no one will tell you. If you don't open that door, one day you'll wake up to find there was never a lock on it. Only you.